evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day to all. Welcome to another edition of Homie Picks. Week 11, fellas, it is almost playoff time. How does it feel?
That is gone too fast.
I don't think the playoffs can get here fast enough with all this bullshit we've seen from week to week. Like, I'm over it. Miami, Washington.
Yeah, it's been a wild one. It's really been a wild one. Lou, of course, you were the stud of the week. My picks are off, but hopefully this week I'm back on. Ben is back.
Not too on, man. Not too on.
The three amigos is back and reunited. I'm probably going to take my bye week after Thanksgiving because I feel like being like the rest of these other teams who have a late bye weeks. But until then, our first game of the week. We're not going to. Everybody who think we're going to talk about the Patriots going against the Falcons, the rematch of Super Bowl. What was that? 53 something, 52.
It
we
don't
ain't
matter.
touching that.
That game don't count.
Yeah, we ain't touching that tonight. We're not touching tonight's game. We already know. Well, we already feel that the Pats are going to smack them. Like that shouldn't even be a talked about game right now. But we were going to talk about Ben's team, the Colts, going against the Buffalo Bills. At Buffalo is a 7.5 point favorite, minus 330. Colts are plus 265. As tradition always speaks, Ben goes last since this is his team. So Lou, how do you see this one coming through?
Well, just going off of what Buffalo did to the Jets last week, it bad. Shout out to the Buffalo defense because I got you on my fantasy team. Yeah, that did your thing. I'm rolling with Buffalo on this one. They're at home. They got to keep the Patriots at bay. We all know we're probably all on the same boat that Patriots winning Thursday night, so they got to keep them at bay. I don't see the Colts having enough offense on the wide receiver position. Jay Taylor has been playing phenomenal, great football from him, and the offensive line is pretty much up there with one of the elites, but they don't have the ability to throw it downfield. And I think Buffalo's defense is just too mean right now. So I'm going to take Buffalo on this one at home.
Yeah. As bad as Buffalo's loss was 2 weeks ago, they definitely made up for it and then some last week against the Jets. This is a Jets team that even the Colts ran up and down the field on. But maybe I'm gonna not be a prisoner of the moment. There's a friend of mine. She is a big time Buffalo Bills fan. She's from Buffalo. She's probably gonna be mad at me for this one, and that's okay. I'm actually going with the Colts. I think somehow, some way, the Colts can actually pull this one out. For reasons of this, in big time games, they seem to step up a lot harder. Now, granted, they did blow it against Baltimore, but at the same time, remember, they were killing my team up until midway through the third, going into the fourth. I think the Colts have progressively got better. I'm respecting them a lot more as time has gone on because I didn't think much of them. I thought they were going to be a bottom barrel team. I thought Tennessee was going to run away with this. And you have two teams that are kind of fighting for position. You have the Bills who are fighting for position against the Patriots. You have the Colts fighting for position against the Titans. And the Titans have been on a roll as of late. And the Colts need to keep pace. It's kind of the battle for who's not trying to be the wild card team, who's trying to be, who's trying to be that short bet in. I think the Bills at home are a great team, but I somehow, some way, I just see the Colts just squeaking by this one. That's my sneaky pick for the week. Ben, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that you're a smart man. No, yeah, I was gonna pick the Colts on this one myself. I know Buffalo had a big win against the Jets, but they tend to beat up on the teams they should be beating up on.
Except Jacksonville.
The Colts started off really off, but they've been progressively getting better as they've been getting healthier. They did get banged up a little bit last week on the line, so a little worried about that. But the way that JT's been running the ball, they can just keep Allen to the sideline. So if they can control the clock, I think they have a good shot. So if they keep it manageable, the defense plays. I mean, they've I'm not sure if they're number one or number two right now, but in takeaways and defensively, so number one defensively. So I think they're gonna be able to force Allen some throws. He hasn't been perfect this year, so I like our chances. I like the Colts in this one.
Yeah. We'll see what's gonna happen in that one. Like, I mean, you have a really great offense, but that's the thing about the Bills is they've just been so inconsistent. And on to another team that's been inconsistent, the Green Bay Packers. They are now going into Minnesota to face the Vikings. The Packers are a 2.5-point favorite, minus 126. However, the Vikings are a very tightly contested plus 108. Minnesota has had some struggles, but they've had some nice wins as well. Ben, I hate to put you back on the spot, but who do you think is going to pull this one out?
This one's tough. I like how Green Bay's defense is playing right now. And I don't know if this win right now that they just had gets Minnesota to, because they've been losing a lot of close games by a field goal and whatnot. So they finally won one of these. So I don't know if this is going to give them a little bit more confidence, and they're going to come with a little more confidence playing. I think I'm just going to take the Vikings in this one. I think they're going to squeak on by here. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. The defenses are going to play tough, but I think Kirk Cousins does just enough to get the win.
Luke?
Yeah, this is my sneaky pick of the week. I think Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay has had a crazy season. It's been all over the place for them. They just don't look elite to me in the NFC. I think they do enough just to get by, and that's kind of not the right formula to go deep into the playoffs. I think this is going to be their letdown game where they come down to earth and Minnesota smacks them in the mouth. Yeah, I see it like Ben says, a close game. I see Vikings winning this at home by like a field goal.
Yeah.
I was actually on board with both of y'all. I was thinking Minnesota all the way too. I was thinking Dalvin Cook, is running better. Thielen is doing better. I just can't trust Kirk Cousins. That's my problem. That is my only drawback. I really, really want to pick Minnesota. I truly, in my heart. Danny Delgado, I know you're a Viking fan or you watch the show. Thank you for your support. I really want to trust in your team, bro. I want to trust in Kirk Cousins to make the right throws. I still do not believe in the Packers defense. I don't believe in Throw Rogan himself. I just, there's something about Kirk Cousins that just scares me. Damn, that shit just hurts. I mean, look, we did see how inept the Packers are without Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, and being that he's back, I think they're going to be the team that wins by a field goal, to be honest. So I'm going to go with Green Bay on that one. It hurts my heart to even pick that because I really was not trying to pick the Packers, but I just can't. It's there's one word, Kurt. I just can't trust Kurt. That's it. I can't trust Kurt.
Come Sunday, he's gonna be like, you're gonna remember those words. You like that?
I hope he's listening. I hope he's listening, subscribing, commenting, and liking. But on to the next one. My division rival Cincinnati Bengals are going into Raider territory, facing the Las Vegas Raiders. very, very tight numbers here. The Bengals are a -1. However, they're also a -120. Vegas is +102. So, yeah, it's the battle of two. Well, the Bengals have kind of regressed a little bit from their little high, and the Raiders are kind of imploding from within. That loss against Kansas City was embarrassing to me. I really thought highly, me and you both, Lou, thought more highly of the Raiders going into that one, and completely just not even playing football. I don't even know if you want to call that football that they was playing. I do think the Raiders cannot afford to go back-to-back losses. However, I think it's also the time of the year where Derek Carr gets into his little slump, and it seems to happen every single year. I think Joe Burrow and company are going to come into town, and I can see it. I can see them winning by a touchdown. I think the rookie Jamar Chase is outstanding. I would love for Cincinnati to lose this game to keep the pressure off my Ravens, but because we're facing the very inept Chicago Bears. But at the same time, I think this is a game Cincinnati wins and wins by a touchdown. I just think they have a better thing going, a better formula going for them at this very moment. What do you think, Lou?
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders, that game against Kansas City was oof. If anything, that game against Kansas City shows their biggest weakness is they don't have any receivers to go down the field. Darren Waller was double teamed, one over top, one on top of him, one right up in front. They played that safety over the top on him pretty much 90% of the time. So you take Darren Waller out of the game, and you can see the Raiders don't have anything to push the ball downfield. And Derek Carr's built to throw the ball downfield. That's the kind of quarterback he is. A deep shot, on the run. He's not going to be one of those pocket passers that sits there and gives you 5 or 6 yards for 3 downs. Yeah, I think Cincinnati has to separate themselves in this division. This division is too close right now with the Browns losing, with the Ravens losing, with Pittsburgh. We don't even gonna talk about that Pittsburgh game because that was just atrocious. You thought the Raiders had bad football. You watched that Pittsburgh game and it was awful.
That was pretty terrible too.
Yeah, so this is the Bengals' chance to separate themselves. I think coming off the bye week, they're coming off 2 straight losses. This is the time where they got to step up and start putting some distance in the division. And I think the Raiders are the perfect team to do that against.
Benny.
Yeah, I guess we're in agreement here. I feel like Cincinnati is gonna bounce back. They're coming off their bye week. They put a bad performance up against Cleveland. I think their offensively they've done so well. I don't think they're gonna fall back that much. Mixon can run the ball on the Raiders. I mean, they really can't stop the run. Their defense is not their strong suit, and that's Cincinnati's strong suit, really. So yeah, I think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be as close as they think it was gonna be. I think Cincinnati is really gonna have a nice game here. So I like Cincinnati.
So what you're saying is the Raiders have a chance since we all 3 picked the Raiders. Huh?
The Raiders have a chance to lose. Yes.
Now before we get to the next game, I still feel like me and Lou are in agreement to this. Last week we were talking about Derek Carr. And we were saying if you put him on any other team, they're a playoff team, such as the Jets, such as the Vikings, and so forth. Do you agree to that same statement that we made?
No. I think it depends on the team.
Okay.
He is an above average game manager. Like he is like a Baker Mayfield, like just maybe 2 levels up.
Okay.
He has real accurate, deep throw shots. He can move out the pocket, but he's really in reality just a game he can't take over the games. Like he does struggle at times in third downs. So he doesn't need for it to be perfect. Like Baker might need it to be perfect, but he does need a lot of pieces there to help him. And right now, he doesn't have anything but a tight end, basically. I mean, the running backs are okay, but they don't really run the ball, or at least not effectively. So that's why it limits him, I believe.
Yeah,
so I don't think you
definitely.
can plug and play him into those teams because those teams, again, they don't have pieces either.
Yeah, that rug situation really hurt him the most because now it's kind of like you only got one target. But one team that I'll go into him after our last pick. But one team or two teams that he cannot go to and make them better because I think they're better with what they got. One team maybe their backup might be doing better than Derek Carr. The Arizona Cardinals going against Seattle. The Cardinals are a 2.5-point favorite, minus 126. Seattle is plus 108. Colt McCoy. Who would have thought he'd have been the savior, right? The savior that the Cardinals needed. Who would have that shit? Well, at least against one team they did, against the good old Niners.
I mean, you've been a backup for several years. Something's got to rub off. I mean, I'm sure you can do it for a couple of games, and that's really what you need out of backup,
Well, what do you think, Ben? Like, take it. Like, what do you think is going to happen here?
Well, unfortunately for Colt McCoy, if he does play, which I'm not sure, that's really what depends. I'm not 100% sure if Kyler's going to play. If Kyler plays, I would say Arizona, but I think he might not play. So I would lean towards Seattle in this one, just because Russell Wilson should, feel a little bit better this time around, knock some of the rust off in the last game. I think they can do a little bit better. It's going to be, again, assuming that Kyler's not playing, it will be a low scoring game. I don't see no big blowout here, but I think Seattle will pull it off. But again, assuming Kyler's not playing, I'm going to go with Seattle.
Being that Lou did win last week, I'm gonna let him start off. I'm gonna let him hosted our last game, so I'm gonna let Lou go last on this one. Yeah, I feel the same way as you do. Even if Kyler Murray plays, I still am leaning towards Seattle though. Reason being is even if Kyler Murray plays, I don't know how healthy he really is going to be. I think that's my drawback to it. Because you can, and that was something that I noticed in that Dolphins win against my team. Jacoby Brissett got hurt, had a knee injury. And he was like that he went to the sidelines, started trying to work out a little bit. Brian Flores, or as I call him, Mr. Marcus, because you cannot tell me, have you ever seen Mr. Marcus or Brian Flores in the same room together? I have not. So
are you saying it's one of the same?
I'm definitely saying that my team lost to a porn actor, right? That's what I'm saying. But he called into it, and Tua, did what he had to do. And Brissett has not seen the field since. So I'm not saying that's going to happen with Colt McCoy and Kyler Murray, because I think they may even take a 10% Kyler Murray over Colt McCoy. However, I just don't feel that he's going to be that effective. And Seattle's defense has been iffy at times. If they can just get to him or just apply pressure, whoever the quarterback may be, then I think they handle business. I think Russell being off, for those weeks and having his first game back, he wasn't in sorts with his team. But now he has a whole week, plus with that. And I think Seattle holds on to this one. I think DK and Tyler are just too good. And I still don't know the status of AJ Green and D-Hop, because they were out. And, they took, and I don't know how healthy they're going to be. That's going to be sad for Arizona, because Arizona needs this win to keep pressure against the faltering Los Angeles Rams, who luckily have a bye week. But Lou, what you thinking, bro?
I think about it this way. Does Kyler Murray need to play this game?
Good question.
A week before they bye
Exactly.
against the worst team in the division statistically. Me, if I'm a coach, I'm not playing him. There's no reason to rush him out there. We have a 1-game lead in the division. And oddly enough, I see Arizona winning this game at home. Seattle just hasn't been Seattle. You can say Russell Wilson's coming off an injury, but even before the injury, Russell Wilson wasn't Russell Wilson. There were just there were 2 and 3, 3 and 3, something like that before he left. So they're not even the same team. I think they're a team that's trying to figure stuff out. They have no defense. They literally have a Legion with no boom. I am definitely, for me, I am taking Arizona. I think Arizona is going to muster this one out. It's going to be probably an ugly game. Seattle couldn't score against Green Bay. That says a lot. I know they had a lot with the weather and Russell Wilson coming back, but they couldn't even get a field goal in that game. So with Colt McCoy, I think Arizona wins this game still. It won't be pretty. It won't be like the Carolina game where Carolina was running high promotions. I mean, essentially, the Seattle really much isn't playing for much because I think they're 4 games out. There's no way they're catching up in this division. So I'll take Arizona at home.
Okay. Shout out to Cam Newton coming back, doing the thing. His team goes against Washington. But on to our last game, and I'm not going to do it. The person who won last week will. So
I'll take this game. It is, I think, probably the game of the year so far. We have Dallas versus the Kansas City Chiefs. After what Dallas did to Atlanta and what Kansas City did to the Raiders there, I'm kind of excited for this game. So I'm gonna let Ben go first, though. So how do you see this game playing out?
This one's tough because I know KC just got a win and they looked better. But at the same time, it's just one game. So I feel like it's kind of like I want to see a little bit more consistently. I'm kind of leaning on Dallas here. I think I'm going to pick Dallas over this one. I like how they're playing offensively. I don't think defensively the Chiefs have figured it out yet. So I think Dallas is going to be able to score on them. They have more offensive pieces. Dak is playing well. They're running the ball well, so they can keep Mahomes on the sidelines if they can control the clock. So, and they're defensively, I mean, they create turnovers, and Mahomes is creating a lot of turnovers. So I like Dallas' chances. I'll take Dallas.
All right, Jared, what do you think? What do you say?
What do I think? Damn. I think Dallas learned a very hard lesson when they went against the Denver Broncos, which is don't take your opponent lightly. That was, I mean, granted, that was some time ago. That game still stands out to my brain. Like, you let Teddy Bridgewater do that to you? Like, that was wild. Like, that was a wild one right there. No Von Miller, anything like that. Shit. And they got mollywop with Dak at quarterback. But that's the thing about the Cowboys. They're kind of resilient this year. I know that's something Giants fans don't want to hear, nor the Eagles fans or football team. It's hard saying the football team, but anyway. It's something that none of these teams want to hear. But Dallas is kind of resilient this year. But their defense has not been looking that great lately. However, you're going against the Kansas City Chiefs, who has a worse defense than them. I still do not believe in Kansas City Chiefs, even with that win last week against the Raiders. It's, to me, and I was going to say that Derek Carr, to me, is a higher functioning Jay Cutler, where Jay can throw and do all these nice things, but then his attitude just fucking sucks. Therefore, his mood takes over and that's kind of how he plays after that. I saw that against that Giants loss. I saw it again last week against Kansas City. So I think that's why KC just ran away with that one. Like they had a great one. I'll say that. But I don't think they have a great win against Dallas. I think Dallas takes this one. I think Trayvon Diggs does his thing. I think he's gonna pick off Mahomes at least 2 times.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna go
prediction
on this. I'm gonna take Kansas City at home with this one. I think they starting to figure it out. Dallas's defense, okay, is above average. Dallas is the highest scoring offense in the league right now. So that's my only worry. Can Kansas City match a point for point? I think if Mahomes sticks to the Mahomes we saw against Raiders, not overthinking it, making those quick passes, taking what the defense gives him, I think it's going to be a slam dunk win for Kansas City. And Kansas City needs this more than Dallas needs this win. You got to remember, after Sunday, Dallas plays straight around again on Thursday for a Thanksgiving game. So if I'm Kansas City, I'm trying to score early. I'm trying to score often. And put it on them. We saw Dallas get shellacked 2 weeks prior. I think you use that as the blueprint. You had the Denver Broncos beat them up. So follow that blueprint. I mean, don't fall into the same traps that Atlanta did. And I think this is the second coming of Patrick Mahomes. He's figuring it out. He's evolving in season. And that's something that a lot of people say Kansas City's done. I don't see it yet. I think you're allowed to have a couple bad games, especially in this extra long season that we're having. So they had their hiccup. I think they right the ship, and they run away with this one.
Yeah, I think I'm so disappointed, and I'm not talking about the Broncos. I after they started off undefeated, I knew they were going to keep that kind of momentum. But I'm just so disappointed in the Chargers and the Raiders for not applying pressure. Because who would have thought going into last week's game, they were all tied?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that? The way Kansas City was playing weeks before, who would have thought they would all be tied coming into that game?
Yeah. And I mean, you can't give Kansas City air. And this just breathes new life right into them.
Yeah. They're going to figure it out. I mean, like you said, it looks like they're starting to figure it out. I just want to see it again. Like once I see more consistency out of that, I'll feel more comfortable with them.
Yeah. I mean, in Kansas City, they're, like they are the favorites to win the game, by 2.5. But I mean, look, I'm not to say that I can't see them winning the game. I think this game might resemble Cleveland Chargers with that high score in the field, like going into the 40s. Because if nobody's playing defense, I mean, if I'm wrong about Diggs catching 2 picks, if I'm wrong about the defense, it's going to be a long night for both of them, and it's going to come down to who's going to have the ball last, Dak or Patrick, and then you got to hope for a playmaker after that.
Yeah.
Speaking of playmakers, shout out to Deion Sanders. And your son having that special moment at the end of the game, and your son scored the winning TD like that. Like that's a special moment that that fathers, it's you don't see many fathers having that special moment, with the son, especially Deion coming off of foot surgery. And him not being as mobile as he was, that he still made it time to be there for his son. Like that was a dope moment. I think that's one of my moments of the month. It's dope to see those kind of things, and see, he's still a football coach himself, and him still take that time out, to be there, for your kid, and it's pretty dope. Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving is almost here.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous.
Insane.
Yeah,
that's
it just feels like November started last week,
bro.
It's nuts. Nuts. It's just so fast. So,
we're gonna come at you with another homie picks. Shout out to to Lou, shout out to Ben. Thank you guys for being here. And shout out to you, the viewers, the listeners. We thank you. You know, like, subscribe, share, comment. Tell us we're right, tell us we're wrong. But until then, enjoy tonight's beatdown of the Patriots and against the Falcons. We're gonna come at you for another fresh edition coming up next week. Until then, fellas, I appreciate y'all. Everybody, I'll see y'all later.
Peace, gentlemen.